Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, it is I, the one and only, Ray the Flying Squirrel here.
And I'm Mighty the Armadillo here. Once again, we are back for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos once again.
Yep, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Super Mario Bros. 3 for the NES, or Nintendo Entertainment System to be more specifically, or for those of you who lived in Japan, for the Famicom. So last time, we've actually completed the third world in this game, known as the Waterland, or Seaside, I don't know what you would call it, but either way though, we'll, suffice to say we'll call it the Waterland, but that's besides the point. So today, for this video, is the fact that we're going to be continuing things on with the game by going through the fourth world in this game, known as Giant Land, or Big Land to be more specific. And did I just hear jingles for some reason? I don't know.
So it looks like I'm about to be able to take on the first level in World 4. So this first level, as you can tell, everything else is huge, ranging from enemy encounters to pipes to blocks, and you name the rest.
In fact, this level does remind me of one of those levels in New Super Mario Bros. U. You know, with the forms of the Jungle of the Giants level in Soda Jungle 1.
Oh yeah, I do remember that level actually. Well, at least no matter what though, that we did somehow manage able to win back into the Wii U version of the game. And it also say applies with New Super Luigi U as well. So just to ensure about the fact that, well, relatively speaking, after our Wii U save data has been corrupted during the Forms event 2018, but we did somehow manage able to complete the game recently again on the Wii U system.
Yeah, just to ensure that we were able to actually catch up on, you know the one I'm saying about this point. So, anyways, let's see what rewards I can get from here. I get a horrible feeling I might not get anything from here, don't I? Nope, didn't have any of that. Oh well, we'll just go to face it and just, well, move along, I guess. So, either way though, this is what a lot of people seem to think, that World 4 is definitely the greatest world ever, especially how unique it was, for its concept and everything. But relatively speaking though, it's actually rather easy compared to the forms of World 3, to be honest. Well, because mind you, about the fact the matter is though, is the fact that I'm pretty sure this world does have lesser amounts of levels, but it still might be felt a bit too lengthy. But regardless of such though, we're sure we can able to actually deal with this level no problem. So, oh, get back here. I hate wondering how the fact that the Starman just goes into the opposite direction as I was trying to go and just continue things on from here. But, oh well, but at the very least I somehow complete the level like no sweat. So let's get ourselves a nice Starman card. So I think I was able to get one more of those. And so I'm able to actually rank up some more extra lives with ease. So, whilst unfortunately for you, Mighty, you got below 10 lives, so...
Yeah, let me just go ahead and buy, or get one of those power-ups in the particular Toad House right here. That way we can able to get ourselves, well, I would say a regular mushroom so far, so... I might be alright, I guess, aside from the fact that, well, this world wasn't all that long to begin with, so... So, anyway, a few things I want to explain for this discussion today, and that is the fact that, is this like an underground level or something? Well, it could be, because obviously we're now able to actually have ourselves, you know what I mean, Buzzy Beetles, and also some very narrow platforms to navigate through, and on top of that, you're just gonna have to able to watch out for those bottomless pits, as you can tell, because if you fall off, you have to redo the entire— oh god, I forgot about these spiny, enemies! But you're sure enough you're miles able to avoid them no problem, as you can probably tell. So, anyway, today's date is of course the 13th of December today, in this case in 2022 today. Only 12 more days to go until the Christmas is about to start. So relatively speaking though, for the sake of 2022, as a matter of fact. So a few things I want to explain while this is going on, is the fact that recently, during the forms of today, while it did manage to happen yesterday, which I suppose that Sonic has totally forgot to mention about, ever since in Metroid, Super Metroid Let's Play, that apparently we actually finally got ourselves the final update, or the final free update, what I meant to say, of the forms of, well, Mario Strikers Battle League Football, character selection. And, we'll explain more details about that until for later, because I need to focusing on the first tower level, as you can tell. So much like the forms of World 3 and onwards, then we're gonna have to come across into even more tower levels. So
Oh, mushroom, I do definitely need that. Just in case I don't want to get died by the forms of not only booze, but also dry bones as well. Oh, dang, there's a visible block over there. Oh, jeez, I never saw that coming. In fact, it continues that tradition and during the forms of the introduction to those kind of stuff, since in Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, as a matter of fact. But, since I went down there, this also means I skipped a good chunks of the level, so pretty swell I might add. So, there we go. The first tower level is completely done, with no problems whatsoever.
Looking good for you there.
Yep, especially noticeable that, well, conveniently enough, we've almost at the halfway point in terms of the forms of World 4 already, so I'm guessing the next level is going to be the underwater level, basically.
And unfortunately though, I don't have my hammer with me, so there's no way I can able to actually access to one of those toad houses, as you can see, so
yeah, it's gonna have to face it and just, you know, go straight into the forms of it in the next level, which is level 4, where basically that is your job to able to do a lot of swimming, basically. And on top of that, Lakitus appeared, so in some cases though, you have to avoid a lot of spinies.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna be trying to do around here, but most of the time they can get a little bit more aggressive, especially noticeable how the fact that well, I somehow lost my raccoon power-up thanks to that, well, you know what I mean, with all that well-placed spiny toss from that particular water section right there.
Well, regardless of such though, at the very least you got your 1-up back after countless amount of deaths in sometimes in World 3. So anyway, let's just go ahead and move on to, yeah, I'll use the frog suit just in case I can able to take on this huge sledge bro, as far as I can definitely tell what that enemy represented with, and I've got the cloud. So exponentially I'm also able to skip the level entirely. Well, only one level I'm also able to demonstrate on. But anyway, so it looks like you're about to take care of the another hammer bro, or should I say, the sledge bro, because this is the only enemy you always have to come across into in this world, and you got the clouds there too. Oh, interesting.
Alright, so
which level should I do first? Let's do level 5. So just in case we can able to go for those levels in a chronological order, and exponentially, we actually come across into another giant level, so hopefully, it won't give me that much trouble though, I don't think, but we shall see when it gets to the point where I somehow got hit. But that giant Koopa shell, and I just realized about the fact that we have to go back into the Super Mario Bros. 1 kind of power-up damage inputs or something like that. Well, I'm not exactly sure. Well, usually relatively speaking though, it's been about 5 days ago since we've last touched this, because obviously that I believe Sonic, he's almost pretty much finishing up with the forms of The Legend of Zelda before we move on to the rest of the series as of now. So yeah, it should be a lot more oh, come on! That bullet bill just caught me off guard. Oh, that's a bit of a waste. And I'm thinking that we actually got the exact same amount of lives now, I think. Even though I wasn't paying attention to it at all. But it looks like you're about to be taking care of the 6th level. So
oh yeah, this is the level where it features this familiar door, which if you go in there, basically it turns everything into, well, at first I thought it was large, but then it turned into small variations of certain enemies here and there. So yeah, that's the main gimmick of this level as far as I'm concerned. Even though it's underutilized, well, aside from the fact that you can either decide able to go for a huge version or the small version if that's any biased, I guess, but at least I got myself my 1-up, I guess, so
anyway though, so yeah, in terms of the forms of the final update, or the final free update for Mario Strikers Battle League Football, they managed able to include the final stadium and the final gear outfit, and of course the final 2 characters. And what these things itself they contain? Well, we got ourselves the returning characters based off from not only Super Mario Strikers, but also Mario Strikers Charged. Well, to be more specifically though, on the other hand, we got ourselves the returning playable character from the likes of Mario Strikers Charged, and that's what appears to be Bowser Jr. So naturally, we've now actually got Bowser and Bowser Jr. in the same game again, just like in the forms of how it does it in Mario Strikers Charged. Except the fact that there's one character missing on the actual captain selection, much like the forms of Super Team, that Petey Piranha, he's no longer part of the actual, the playable characters now, for the sake of the forms of, certain Mario spin-off titles, apart from the fact that, well, the last time we actually had, you know what I mean, Petey Piranha becomes a playable character, which is actually by the forms of Mario Tennis Aces, and that's about it, basically, so... Anyways though, so here we go again for me to tackle for this level again, and I died in the process. Because I lost my footing! Oh well, so now we're on the same boat for our extra lives, aren't we? Well, apart from me though so far, just because I've only got 12 lives so far, so... Anyway, second tower level, here we go, so... Oh boy, this is where we got introduction to those donut lifts as platforms. Yeah, because if you stand on those for too long, those donut lift platforms will decide to able to go down, and you have to jump out of it before you die or fell into the pit. Or in some cases though, in this level's case, that basically though you have to... Oh, hello, is there a secret in there? Well, sure enough it is, because obviously it takes you to a different area where we actually have ourselves the introduction to those new obstacles, which are those arrow blocks, or should I say arrow blocked lifts, where basically it takes you to certain points of the level, so pretty cool and pretty handy at the same time. Although, if we get to one of the later worlds, they managed able to reuse that concept in one of those levels. So, now I can assure you, you're not able to avoid a lot of those piranha plants in each pipe. So, yeah, I think you should probably take care of this no problem, so... And I think I do remember this particular sequence for one of those challenges that you can find for the sake of the forms of NES Remix 2 for the Wii U, or should I say Ultimate NES Remix on the 3DS. So relatively speaking though, you can possibly able to... Oh my god, you got 3 1-up jackpots! Yay, I got myself some of my extra lives back, so how awesome am I? Well, yeah, seems pretty awesome for you, huh? But at least you can able to take down Boom Boom with a simple fireballs, and that's it! He dies within, like, ashes to deceased or something. Well, I've no idea why he's saying things weirdly enough at this point today, but I digress. So now I just need to able to try this godforsaken level again, or actually kind of thinking about it, I can just do that. So, anyways, come on, level 4-5, let's see what you got this time for me again, for able to actually give me a massive payback. Well, despite the fact that I did somehow die twice in this particular level so far, so I've no idea why this level gives me such a hard time at the moment. I'm guessing it's probably because we're now able to actually start to introduce into ourselves those homing bullet bills. So as a result, oh, hello, there's another secret up there, which I know there's actually something is up there, which appears to be by the forms of the beanstalk itself. So let's just climb up. I wonder if I'm very curious to see what's inside here. And we get ourselves the Tanuki suit! Hooray! We got a Tanuki suit, which this allows you to able to... Well, it behaves exactly like the forms of the raccoon power-up, except if you jump and press the directional pad down and B button at the same time, while you're in mid-air, basically you would able to turn into this particular statue, so, which allows you to able to become invincible, and as a result, that way it should help you, especially noticeable if you're trying to be more stealthy. And there we go! I got myself 3 Starman cards! So naturally, I've got myself 5 extra lives back. So yeah, we're now onto the same boat for the sake of our extra lives now. So, apart from you, Mighty, because you got, like, 15 1-ups. So, oh, you want me to able to tackle for airship levels? Yeah, because I thought to myself, maybe we should probably take turns for able to tackle for one of those airship levels, so... And exponentially, I've got myself my P-Wing in the process, so nicely done for my part. Yeah, conveniently enough though, this world is very short. Like, it probably took us about like 17 or so minutes, but until when it gets to the point until the next world after this though, well, this is the reason why this time length is actually going to get a little bit more lengthy. But either way, yeah, let's just go ahead and take on the forms of the 4th airship level for my perspective-wise. All I thought is pretty fascinating is that if you turn into a statue, well, if you try to avoid those flamethrowers, as you can tell, it allows me to able to kill those flamethrowers, which is, I'm not gonna lie, it's actually pretty handy in Fury, especially because considering how the fact that, well, it's pretty awesome looking. Although I should probably also mention about this actually is the fact that this game also does have some couple of secrets here and there as well, which it might be something to do with the forms of this white toad house, which is pretty rare to able to see, but there's also another rare event which it happens to be by the forms of a treasure ship, where basically though you can get a whole bunch of coins. That way you can get a ton of extra lives for doing so, and also you get yourselves a freebie item if you somehow manage to complete the treasure ship level. But again, it is super rare in this game, so as a result though, that it needs to be like specifically of how much scores you're going to be having, or how much coins you collected, and how much time you got left, or something like this. Mind you, it's been ages ago since I actually discovered any of those things. Well, mind you, again, it's super rare to able to come across into those situations, but still, it can be like pretty cool if you manage to able to discover one for yourself, so. Alright, so I think I'm almost there. It's just, this level is pretty slow. Especially unlike in the other levels that we've been to for those airship levels, is that, well, it actually goes on a pretty steady pace, so. Oh boy, how to duck and jump at the same time while trying to look after my Tanuki suit with me. But somehow I avoid those flamethrowers, so. Alright, let's see what the next Koopaling boss fight are we going to be face off against. And sure enough, it's a Super Leaf, but who cares about that? Until from now on anyway, so. Anyways though, so here we have ourselves a world classified for saying, I think this is Iggy Koopa, if I recall correctly. So as a result though, with all his hairstyle and all that stuff though, but just like before, he's pretty easy. So thankfully, unlike Windio Koopa, that Iggy does not utilize any projectiles at all, so that's cool and fine and dandy and everything. So there we go, World 4 is completed, and isn't that Ramesses from the likes of Prince of Egypt? It's almost close to the point where, oh, thank you kind raccoon. Okay, please tell me your name. Okay, that's an interesting alternating the dialogue, but that's sure it's something, I guess. Alright, so that concludes World 4, and now we'll move on to World 5, known as The Sky. Well, the reason why we say The Sky is because, well, you're probably wondering why, until whenever we get to the later portion of the world, so. And of course, we got ourselves the returning chain jumps, and yep, there goes my Tanuki suit, because I was trying to demonstrate of how this power-up will devastate their blow of chain jumps, but apparently though, I made a wrong tad mistake, but either way though, sometimes it happens in my case, so whoops. Although thankfully I can get myself this glorious Starman, so I can become invincible, so I can just simply make our way through here, get the Starman card, and boom, there we go. Anyway, so it's now your turn, Mighty, to take on level 2 now, so. Although, what's interesting about this world is that you start things off as a traditional world map, like you're able to actually experience the ground portion of the map. Although, later on though, if you get to the halfway point of this entire map, basically we can able to experience the sky. But how'd you get there exactly?
Well, I can definitely show it to you right off the bat though, despite I really don't want to fall off, because I get the horrible feeling, if I dare fall all the way down, I'm guessing I have to take the longest route, so, although I can assure to you for that anyway, well mind you, it's been, you know, quite a few days since we actually come back to this game basically, because, well, we just want to make sure that we were able to get the uploading schedules going, because, well, as what Sonic has already mentioned about this before, hopefully we'll get back on track for more uploading schedules in due time for just before, you know, 2023 is going to roll around, so, and is that a Starman card I've got? Yes, I have. Even though it's kind of a shame for you that you can't, you have no luck of the forms of those
3 matching, you know, cards in between mushroom, flower, and star cards, but either way though, that's saying something, so I'm not having a good luck with this. Oh wait, hey, got a Starman. Oh, mushroom. Oh, goody. Looking good so far for me, and not so much this time around. Oh well, but at least I got 2 items with me, so at the very least I got something, so anyways, let's go in here and grab ourselves our next power-up, or should I say my next item. So, oh look at that, I got my Tanuki suit back. However though, I'm actually going to be keeping that with me this time around on my inventory items, because I seriously don't able to lose that no matter what, so alright, let's do level 3. So let's see what level 3 actually brings us to. Well, I do definitely know for one thing in mind, that there's actually another introduction to one of those cool power-up accessories, which I was able to find out until when I get this super leaf with me, and turn into raccoon suit in the process. So here we have, let's just say, a Goomba shoe, or should I say a Kuribo shoe. Well, I have no idea why I'm saying Kuribo shoe to begin with, but either way though, that's saying something. So I think in order to obtain that, you have to hit the thing from the block, and you have to able to, like, well, if you stomp on the Goomba while he's running a Kuribo shoe, then basically though, darn it, I didn't jump! God dang it, man. Anyway though, so yeah, what the Kuribo shoe can do for you is that this allows you to able to be protected by not only by the forms of several of monsters, as you can see on that particular floor, but also it allows you to able to be defensively for able to actually take care of those spiny shells, which is a dang essential if you really want able to deal with this level super easily. So, but unfortunately though, for me though, I somehow lost it, so because, you know, my jump button didn't come out. So, oh well, no big deal. But at least this level is pretty easy too. But it wasn't until when it gets to a point where the difficulty now starts able to rise up a bit. Well, to be more specifically in the sky portion of the world, and even especially in the next world coming up. But we'll save that conversation for later. Even especially noticeable until this coming Thursday, so anyway, so now it's my turn, and I have to keep on going for those pipes. And exponentially, I will be able to catch up and tackle through the first tower level in World 5. So, oh boy. Oh, that was a close one. Yeah, you're almost gonna get hit by that thwomp over there. And I'm very curious what's in that particular question mark block. And sure enough, a super leaf, I'll definitely take it. But here's the thing, I think there's actually a secret up there, but I get the strong feeling I do need to acquire a P-Wing power-up in order to able to make it up there. Yeah, because there's no way you can able to actually just run up and, oh dear lord, what the heck am I doing? In fact, you're just being nerve-wracking at first, because you almost first thought you might get something out of it from those blocks, but you somehow died, so yeah, I know that. But, luckily for me though, well, first off, I need to take care of this hammer bro real quickly. So, oh yeah, there's one thing I honestly forgot to mention about in terms of the forms of this particular version of the game of Super Mario Bros. 3, but it's also the same applies for the Super Nintendo version as well, being the Super Mario All-Stars, is that technically speaking, if you meet up with your other player, basically if you dare manage to able to challenge someone, you can essentially try to able to... What are you doing with the frog suit, Mighty? I honestly have no words. So you just essentially just somehow get rid of your frog suit, and then basically you just manage to able to waste your life in the process. But, speaking of such though, I'm going to do a spiral tower of any sort, which I think that what that means is that I have to complete this level while I'll be at the sky from now on. So, I think this is what the game tells us to, so... Anyway, but there's also the forms of the two-player battle thing, when if you manage to able to get in contact with your other player. Basically though, you can able to have a one-on-one competition between each other by playing classic Mario Bros style of gameplay by taking down Spinies and all that stuff. But I think what that means though is that you can able to actually steal players' cards, if I recall correctly, like level cards or something. Well, it's been a very long time since I actually known this kind of stuff, but relatively speaking, that's as far as I'm trying to guessing for this point right here, so... Alright, so I believe I'm almost there now, so it's just that I can just simply... Wait a minute. Wait a minute! I did not notice there was nothing all the way to the right! And I didn't realize that there was actually a beanstalk somewhere in this blocks. Ah, I'm an idiot.
Let me think of something here. Let me just go ahead and take care of these, a series of Hammer Bros, despite I didn't pay attention to it at all, because I just can't really predict his movements. Oh god, I'm trapped. I'm literally trapped! But at least I can able to take these guys no problem, because thankfully one of those Hammer Bros, or two of those Hammer Bros, are actually in a higher level. So in some cases though, I've got myself my glorious Starman. So how cool am I? Oh boy, I'm now on 12 lives, so... Yeah, all thanks to that, not only for that Hammer Bro, but also with the forms of that godforsaking, you know, this tower level.
But wish of you luck, and...
Oh, good lord, that was close.
Yeah, you almost gonna fell into lava again, aren't you?
Well, apart from the fact that, well, thankfully I at least made it, but, relatively speaking, I'm just very curious to see what's up there, but, again, you do need a P-Wing power-up in order to make it up there.
Yeah, I know that. So anyways though, let's talk about the forms of the continuation conversation in terms of the forms of Mario Strikers Battle League Football while this is going on. That basically though, we actually got ourselves Bowser Jr. returning ever since in Mario Strikers Charge Football. So yeah, it's nice to see him as playable character once again. But I do found out for one thing, that I'm presuming that Bowser Jr. now actually has got himself his new voice lines now.
Seriously? About goddamn time to able to actually now have new voice clips for Bowser Jr. since, I would classify for saying since Island Tour, Mario Party Island Tour to be more specifically.
Well, I don't know about you, but either way though, that's mainly something about the fact that, well, despite that most of those characters do have exactly the same voice lines from the other games, but relatively speaking though, that's as far as I can try to think about it. And also, they managed able to brought back one of those characters based off from the sidekicks, and that's what appears to be Bodo, which is very surprising considering originally we were expecting that we can able to predict for Toadette, but I'm guessing Toadette is not going to be preparing for football matches due to the forms of her hairstyle is going to get messed up, or maybe she doesn't like too much violence, so I'm guessing so anyway. Or maybe because of how the fact that, well, she just... Well, I don't know about you, that's probably because of Nintendo's decisions or somewhat. So, and it's also kind of weird how the fact that usually in certain Mario spin-off titles, well, apart from the fact the matter is though, is the fact that usually Toad is being playable in every single Mario Sports games, well, on the Switch so far, apart from one exception, and that's what appears to be Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, was only mainly because Toadette was in charge instead. So as a result though, that's relatively speaking though, yeah, as you can see I'm now at the skies above, and exponentially, I'm also able to just go ahead and deal with the level as normally as far as I would, and except the fact that I let my mushroom go away, so, whoops. Oh god, it's one of those platforms, and I didn't pay attention because I just did not know what the heck I was doing. Anywho though, because usually for Toadette only becomes playable so far on the Nintendo Switch of Mario games. Those are being Super Mario Maker 2, and also Mario Tennis Aces, and also Mario Golf Super Rush, and also Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, like I said before. But the only time she was not playable though, that's what appears to be buddy forms of, well, obviously for Super Mario Party and Mario Party Superstars, because obviously both Toad and Toadette will actually become of a different role. And on top of that, as I said before, Toadette is not going to be happening for the sake of the forms of Battle League Football. So, there are only 2 new playable characters for the sake of Mario Strikers Battle League Football, which they are both female characters, which there are Rosalina and Pauline. So it's nice to see those 4 girls managed able to compete each other in football, just like, you know, in tennis and golf, And there's only one exception in particular, and that is the Olympic Games and party games, essentially. So, well, apart from the fact that for Pom Pom, from the likes of Super Mario Party, does count, so, but that's besides the point. So, oh, I see, you've now made it to the skies above too.
I may be wondering I might also skip this level and jump straight into level 5, so... Or, if I like to be more generous about it, I need to be able to go ahead and get myself my next power-up with me, so... And sure enough, I got myself my glorious Super Leaf again, so that's nice. And I think I'm also able to use it right now to take on level 5, so...
Anywho though, so yeah, it's nice to see Bodo gets a spotlight once again, just like the forms of how it does it on Mario Party Superstars, except the fact that the matter is though, is the fact that as far as sidekicks, characters-wise, based off on the likes of the previous games, the only characters is do not make its own return, based off from sidekicks alone. That will have to be buddy forms of Koopa Troopa, Hammer Bro, Boo, Monty Mall, and I think there's also another one too, which I know for a fact that it's been a very long time. Oh yeah, Dry Bones, essentially. So, yeah, 3 are missing from the likes of based off from Strikers Charged, and 2 of them based off from, well, Super Mario Strikers have also been absent. So, I guess for the final lineup so far, for the sake of the forms of, well, you know what I mean, with the actual lineup of characters for its playable characters department for Mario Strikers Battle League Football, is alright. I mean, sure, it's a lot larger than the forms of how it does it on the previous games for sure. Well, nowhere near as larger as compared to the forms of Strikers Charged, because technically you get 12 playable characters and 8 sidekicks, so that makes a grand total of 20 characters. So, it's close enough though, it is definitely close enough for sure, but let me tell you, after Mario Strikers Battle League Football is now concluded, with all this stupid free update system, for the love of God, Nintendo, stop doing the forms of free update system again, because this is getting very old very fast. I know you're trying to able to compete against with something like EA is also doing its free content or something. Well, I don't know about you, because it's been a very long time since I've known about something related to EA kind of stuff. And Mighty, what the heck are you doing?
Well, I honestly have no words to think about it because I somehow died to that bottomless pit down below. And I realized you got so many extra lives compared to me.
Well, that's only mainly because I got very lucky with all that 3 Starman cards for each of its standard levels alike. So, yeah, that may be besides the point. So, anywho, but at least I got myself my music box, which it seems at this point is kind of pointless, because obviously we've already taken down every single Hammer Bros now, especially considering how well we did for the majority of the game so far. Well, apart from the fact that for you, Mighty, you somehow felt a bit slightly rough in terms of performance for this game so far.
Well, apart from the fact that I did manage to did so well in the beginning, but it wasn't until when Wall 3 and onwards did somehow caught me off guard. How the heck did I get hit by that Parabeetle?
Oh yes, the Parabeetle. Oh yes, this is before when, you know, New Super Mario Bros. Wii managed able to reintroduce this particular level style. I think I would say from the likes of, is it something related to, like, Wild 5 or something like this? For the likes of New Super Mario Bros. Wii or something? Well, it has been a very long time since I actually last played New Super Mario Bros. Wii, after all. Because, well, I have no idea what Nintendo's gonna do next for 2D Mario, after all. Because, well, I've got no words to think about it. So anyways, in addition with both Bowser Jr. and Bodo finally actually make it towards the forms of the final update for Mario Strikers Battle League Football, you know, like I said before, is the fact that the only characters that do not return at all, which there are, you know, Dry Bones, Boo, and Koopa, and Hammer Bro, and Monty Mall. So, all that matters is, though, is the fact that, and also same applies with Super Team, from the likes of Super Mario Strikers, and PD Piranha from the likes of Strikers Charged Football. So, relatively speaking, though, is the fact that we've almost got some characters returning, but it's been replaced by 2 brand new characters, which are based off from the likes of, well, you know what I mean, with all this modern Mario games nowadays, so... But honestly, I'm fine with that selection, so... aside from the fact that I just really wish if they stopped doing the, you know, the free update stupid system alike, but that's besides the point. So, anywho.
Alright, so let's see what... Really? Mushroom? This is rigged.
Well, apart from the fact that you won't mind about it too much, I don't think, but hey, at least you can able to do the second tower level as far as I can see what you're just trying to do.
Oh god, it's the one we have to deal with all these series of platforms while trying to avoid those plotterboos coming from not only from the ground, but also our ceiling too.
Well, best of luck for you, because you're probably gonna get hit a lot, so...
Oh, I need a Starman. Hooray, I'm invincible, so I could... No! Ho, ho, ho. Ah, I didn't pay attention to that jump.
Ah, that's so unlucky for you, Mighty Bro. It's obviously you're just running way too fast here, I guess. Whilst meanwhile for me, I'm gonna be taking on level 7, because, well, I can assure you that you somehow accidentally died due to that bit right there that you just somehow died at.
Well, true, because I was gonna double check on something, like either a power-up or something very useful, but apparently I didn't get the chance.
Now to make a run for it, because that Lakitu is almost gonna kill me, but hey, at least I accomplished it, regardless. Okay, so all it needs left now is just the second tower level still needs to be completed, and on top of that, the 2 levels down there, and the airship level in the process. So that's all the only levels left. So anyway, the next thing they added in for the third and final wave for this godforsaken free updates thing on Mario Strikers Battle League Football, that's what appears to be a new stadium type, and that's what appears to be Urban Rooftop. Seems interesting. But ultimately though, it's just all cosmetics and everything, which that was the only drawback about the forms of any other stadium themes for Mario Strikers Battle League Football as a result. And finally, they've managed to bring in the final piece of gear. That's what appears to be the Shellfish gear. So, interesting for sure, but ultimately though, it's just all for cosmetics and also with status differences and all that stuff. And strangely enough, the third and final wave for Mario Strikers Battle League Football just somehow came out recently today, because I'm sure enough it did announce just yesterday that you know how Sonic forgot to mention about that from the likes of in Super Metroid Let's Play. But I'm sure enough though about the fact that, well, we already see that coming, which originally it was expecting to be up in November, but of course it will be delayed until this month anyway. So generally, we actually had both DLC things, well, for the sake of the forms of this month in December. So naturally we already had Wave 3 for the likes of not only Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass, but also Mario Strikers Battle League Football, so it's like double the Mario fun, I suppose. Well, aside from the fact that, well, relatively speaking, we still got the halfway point of Booster Course Pass now for the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC, so yeah, everything else will be come together at this point, so... Oh wow, I just realized this level's really short, and oh yay baby, I've got even 5 more extra lives too. So in some cases I've now got 25 lives, so it feels like I'm now doing better now. Unlike you, Mighty, that you somehow get a little bit rough in certain situations. Well, true. Well, unless if I also use the P-Wing for the better. In this level, because this level's an auto-scroller, and because of that... Oh yeah, I just realized that that enemy, as you saw from the likes of level 5, if I recall correctly, that basically we stumbled across into ourselves, probably is the most annoying enemy in the whole game. That's what appears to be by the forms of, well, as you see right now, well, eventually when it did show up, that's what appears to be by the forms of this godforsaken Flame Chomp. Yeah, he likes to home in on you, and if you dare touch him, like, almost like that, you gotta get screwed, so... Oh, screw that enemy. I hate that enemy a lot. Well, to be fair though, it's just about the fact the matter is though, is the fact that, actually, gotta think about it, let me try to do this level without any, P-Wing activated the whole way through, so... Anyway, so let's just go ahead and, concentrate here. And I suppose the next thing I want to mention is the fact that there was a game called, Tekken 7, that apparently though, also Journey informs within today, that basically it actually includes another version update for Tekken 7 for the likes of PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Steam, and those all include the addition of 2 new character panels and other function updates, which obviously it kind of does the same thing for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but either way. The version update for right now for Tekken 7, it appears to be version 5.10. So yeah, that seems pretty cool, to able to have that version update in mind. Oh god, oh god, oh god! Oh my god, that was nerve-wracking. Especially I've almost died from those whole bunch of spiny shells. I mean, that would be a huge disaster if I somehow got killed by these things.
Anyway, now it's my turn for the sake of the Airship Fortress level, so...
Oh yeah, speaking of Tekken 7 though, is the fact that we're happy to report that basically it's officially about the fact that Tekken 7 has just reached 10 million copies sold for Tekken 7. So congratulations to Tekken 7 who actually make it to 10 million copies sold. I'm pretty sure it's like multiple versions combined within like PlayStation 4, Xbox One, or Steam versions, but I don't know about the arcade version though, because I haven't looked upon that much of arcade cabinets for the sake of the forms of certain fighting games for sure, but let me know in the comments down below if the actual thing does usually become a thing. Now I think the final thing we'd like to mention is the fact that there's also another game called Callisto Protocol, just somehow received some mixed reception, apparently. But I do know for one thing in mind, for the next generation of consoles between the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series S/X have become reasonably solid with all its performance alike, so I'm guessing it's gonna be having exactly the same issue as in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. But eventually though, Nintendo just somehow apologized to it, so... Oh god, you're gonna be faced off against with Roy Koopa, which every nowadays for Roy Koopa, and especially noticeable with the final Koopaling battle, that it will get a lot more tougher, because as you can tell, Roy just somehow managed to activate a bit of an earthquake stomp, which basically if you stay on ground for a long period of time, basically though you get stunned. So yeah, definitely need to be very careful of that particular earthquake, stun move, and yeah, there we go. World 5 has been completed. So, despite he did die quite a few times, Mighty, but regardless of such though, we are now moving on to probably is by far is the hardest world in the game. That's what appears to be World 6, which takes place into the Iceland. So, speaking of which, we'll get the endings off here. So join us next time for more of Let's Play of Super Mario Bros. 3. It's the fact that we'll move on to World 6, known as Iceland. Ooh, this is gonna be chilly. So I'll see you guys on Thursday.
Later, dudes.